I think I understand why you paired this with What's My Name, but I think the explanation by you is going to be
They're both
more entertaining
they're
per se.
both like
Like based on what I've heard, it's like
all
I
y'all
think I know where
motherfuckers
you're
can kiss
going.
my ass songs. Like, I mean, that's the connection between the two. And they come at it from different directions, obviously, but um from nerdy little white kid
Like
direction
I guess
and
one.
not.
I mean one is like literally saying like, well, what's my name?
Right.
But I think the other one is saying like almost like, bitch, you know my name. Well, okay, what do we have today? We have
We have What's My Name by Snoop Dogg and um One Angry Dwarf and 200 Solemn Faces by Ben Folds 5. Um I'm excited to talk about this for a couple reasons because um I'm a big George Clinton fan, number one.
okay.
And that's the obvious sample in the Snoop song. And Ben Folds Five,
Wait.
Ben Folds generally is one of my favorite artists in the world too. So this is not just me talking about something that's important culturally. This is me talking about something that's important to me too. So it'll be fun, I think.
You are you a fan of Ben Folds 5?
Ben Folds Five and Ben Folds the solo artist as well. Yeah.
Totally familiar with the name. This record was literally the first record that I've ever heard from Ben Folds 5 that I can recall
hmm
off the top of my head, which is actually pretty egregious because they're from freaking Raleigh,
Yeah.
Chapel Hill, right?
Yep.
They're from
Yep.
Chapel Hill, Raleigh.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
parents still live in Winston-Salem now.
I believe it. So they only about what, 30? Well, they're an hour from you, but about 30
Yeah.
minutes from where I grew up,
hmm
45 maybe. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So they're local. So he's local grown. First thing that I know is this very what kind of band is this? Is this a jazz pop band? It's a
It's
punk
it's
pop
inter
band, a punk
it's
jazz
interesting.
band.
Like it's all of those things. Like
It's very
um
eclectic.
it is um I would say punk piano, really. I mean, for a
Punk
lot of it.
piano.
He's a piano player. So the Ben Folds Five is piano bass drums. There's no guitar. And it's a three-piece band when it's kind of Ben Folds Five sounds better than Ben Folds Trio, which is why they named it Ben Folds Five, but it's only three people. Um, it's very punk ethos. He did, not to go too much on a sidebar, but we have we subscribe to his Patreon, and during the pandemic, he did like piano lessons, like live, and had like little mini concerts live from on Patreon and stuff like that. Just from because he was when the pandemic hit, early 2020, he was in Australia and kind of got locked down there, and so he was like playing from his apartment basically, in I think Melbourne. Don't hold me to that. So, um, but anyway, he show and you see him when he plays live too. He plays not just chords. He's like you see him. He'll like hit the piano like with his forearm on the keys and just make and uses it as a he was a in college he was like did jazz drums at the University of Miami. So didn't graduate, but he was in that program. So you hear and one of the things that one of the crossovers with him and the song and him with hip hop generally is his music is very percussive because he plays the piano like piano, but he also plays it
That
like
would
a drum.
explain.
Like there's a very percussive sense to how he plays, especially in this song.
He plays the piano like a drum.
hmm I mean, and he is
You mean
incredibly like
you mean
classically
like
trained and talented. Like he
you
can play
mean
jazz piano, he can play classical, but when he performs a lot of the songs, it's is very punkish.
what when you are you talking about the aggression in which he's approaching the piano playing?
Both and um the style too. Like he I've seen him like hit the piano keys with his fists. Yeah, I've seen him hit it like this many keys in a row with his forearm on the thing. Um Especially even during the outro of the song, he'll play it like that. It's not your typical, though he has many songs that feel have the feel of Billy Joel kind of things, that kind of piano style, but this is not one of those.
Okay, but this ain't it. Okay. Um, it's definitely the most interesting song title of all the songs that we've done.
Yes. Yeah.
So this guy is a little bit of a jazz nerd, or just
Um,
nerd in general.
I would call him a nerd, yeah. I think he would call himself that too.
Okay. Is this one of their more popular records? And what is your I think I understand why you paired this with What's My Name, but I think the explanation by you is going to be
They're both
more entertaining,
they're
per se.
both like
Like based on what I've heard, it's like
all
I
y'all
think I know where
motherfuckers
you're
can kiss
going.
my ass songs. Like, I mean, that's the connection between the two. And they come at it from different directions, obviously, but um from nerdy little white kid
Like
direction
I guess
and
one
not.
I mean one is like literally saying like, well, what's my name?
Right.
But I think the other one is saying like almost like, bitch, you know my name.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming. I mean, September 75, I was 47 inches high, and mom said from Christmas I could have yeah, the badass mother GI Joe for like he's talking about when he was like a little kid, right? Or when he
Right.
was like 11, 12 ish, and he was 47 inches high, literally, so not even 4 feet tall. And he's like normal, slightly tall. He's like 6 feet probably now. He grew, but at this point he was like this little kid, and um, and talking about a kid about a girl he was trying to talk to who kind of blew him off. And so part of the thrust of the song is bitch look at me now. I mean like
Ah, okay.
that's part of the thrust of the song, but
There is
and she is not like just one person. She's like a stand-in for all the people who
She represents, yes, it's a
right,
representation of everybody who didn't think I was gonna make it.
right, right.
I'm about to say there was something petty about the record. I
Oh,
was
it
just
was
making
incredibly petty, yes, and it's
His petty.
hilarious. Yeah.
Okay. So like all the tongue in cheek and satire and the I blew up and kissed my ass goodbye
Hmm.
is is real. Okay.
It is
That's
real,
cool.
yes. I mean, it is tongue in cheek and it is funny and it is a little cutesy and there's definitely some jokes. Like he's
Right.
making fun, but no, he means it too. Like he's
Right.
it's not just a character. It's a real thing too.
Right. It's not just a characterization. He's really letting you know how he's feeling as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that is where these records are very similar then, because it's like this is kind of you want to know what these records I think are good in time. I mean, and I don't know Ben Folds Five as well as you do, but
Hmm.
based on what you're saying, these appear to be let you inside the psyche of the artist type of records.
Yeah. Right.
And like
Exactly.
so you can look at these two records and say, no, 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 who this artist is. This song is a representation of that and an accurate one.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything about Ben Folds Five that I should know the group outside of what I already know about them being from the Raleigh Chapel Hill area, punk jazz piano band, three-piece band, right? Three-piece
Three
band.
piece, yeah. Yeah.
Well, his name is Ben Folds, so where's the five come from? Because there's only three of them. That's what made
Yeah,
me look. I was like, it's Ben
I
Folds
think it
Five. I was
just
like, is there five of them?
no, they're not five,
There's
they're
three
three.
of them.
No,
And I'm like, why isn't it
I
Ben
think it
Folds
just
Three?
sounds better. I think it just sounds
Okay,
better.
because Ben Folds Three is what it should be called.
Or trio, yeah. But
No, Ben
it's
Folds Trio is not going to work. Ben Folds Three
exactly
sounds
that's
better.
what I'm saying. Ben Folds 5 just has that it
It
just
does
sounds
have
better.
a little
That
gravitas.
is part of the punk ethos too. It's kind of they punk bands will play around with like making fun of that kind of thing too. He kind of has two styles of songs, even as a solo artist afterwards. There's this kind of song, the kind of punk, like not it's not heavy, but it's more aggressive, I guess. And confessional. I mean, this is kind of confessional too. And then there's also does beautiful piano ballad kind of songs too, which are Brick and their song called Landed, and one called One Down. I mean, there's tons and tons of them, but that would not be out of place being played by your Billy Joels or Elton Johns or those kind of people. Um, but he's a remarkably talented musician. He there are videos on YouTube that if you haven't seen them, not both you and people watching, if you haven't seen them, where he plays with like philharmonics and like orchestras and stuff like that, and he's composed songs live with them. He's like playing, he's like just dicking around on the piano and finding something he likes and
The answer.
finding a chord progression and then saying okay, the cellos play this and the trumpets play this and play that, and he's kind of composing it live. It's really incredible to watch.
I was actually about to say, judging from the way that you're talking, and you kind of just answered the question for me, did he miss his calling of being a classical music composer, and pianist? It's funny. I actually know a classically trained pianist. Her and her husband lived in the area, and she goes on tours with a lot of jazz musicians. I was actually just showing her my father's first cousin, Monty Croft, who's a jazz musician. And as soon as I saw him, she's like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "I know him."
Mm-hmm.
Because it's such a small circuit. Do you feel
Right.
like for the music, do you feel like he kind of like, sometimes genius can be genius, but it's misplaced. Do you think he missed his calling? Is he
No, I
better?
don't. I
Okay.
don't. I think um
Because if you can play classical and play opera houses and like do all that shit, I think you should. That's just for me.
yeah.
Just because,
And he
there.
does do that too though. Like that's what I'm
Right. Well,
saying. Like
that's why I mean you kind of answered my question because it's like for me when I hear this, I hear more of that than um the genre bleeding that I think that this band does
hmm
based
yeah.
on what I heard today.
Yeah, like you and people listening to this who aren't familiar with the record and aren't familiar with the band, should go listen to a live version of this too. It's a little bit longer. Um,
Oh, it's
he had
probably way funkier.
it is way funkier. It's faster. And that outro he plays at the end, the piano outro, um, he like plays it like on a loop and he speeds it up every time. So he's like playing it like super, super, super fast by the end. And then he
I
has a bump, 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 bump part at the end, which is
I found rhythmically these songs to be comparable too,
yeah.
as
And
far as
there's that
like
fuzz bass in there too. That bass sound, the bass sound is kind of
yeah, yeah,
buzzy on
yeah,
both of them too.
a little synthy and a little bassy,
Yeah.
and also too, I think both of these records are the simple stupid works.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's nothing overly complex about this song, and I don't think the both of these are Look at Me Now records too. It's like, hey, look at me now, but not just
hmm
like look at me now like on a successful thing. It's just like, no, I think these are inherently who these artists are. They're Look at Me Now type of artists,
Yeah.
like because of their talent, because of their skill level.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And
So
both
this
of them are. If this was all you knew about these two artists, you would underestimate them as artists too, lyrically and musically. I think because I think both of them are more talented than Simple Stupid too.
right. Well, I mean, here's the thing. The lyrics for the Ben Folds Five is more complicated than the What's My Name lyrics.
hmm Yeah.
And this is one of the few times that this happens when we do the show.
Yeah.
And this is because, Snoop is kind of like our style king. Snoop and Slick Rick are style kings.
Okay.
Like they beat you on style and flow and delivery and cadence and inflection. Like they beat you with everything,
hmm
but like the lyrical miracle stuff, but they can do that too.
I would say he's capable of doing it. It's just not his normal
Yes.
lane on
Um,
the highway.
Snoop has you familiar with the album The Blue Carpet Treatment?
Mm-mm.
You should listen to The Blue Carpet Treatment. It's not Doggy Style, but it's probably Snoop's second or third best album. Like when we talk about Snoop's catalog, I mean, of course, there's Doggy Style
Right.
as a solo artist, but it's between The Blue Carpet Treatment and Rhythm and Gangsta
Okay.
has what his second best album is. Rhythm and Gangsta has Drop It Like It's Hot.
Right.
Um, but the the Blue Carpet Treatment has the Vato record with Be Real. I don't know if you're familiar with
I'm not
Vato. You
familiar
probably
with
don't
it.
know Vato.
Well,
You know the
I
R.
might
Kelly.
know it if I heard it, but I don't know it
You
from the
would if you
name.
knew it. You know the R. Kelly record. That's that shit. That's that shit. Boom
Yeah.
boom. Yep, that's on there. That's on the Blue Carpet Treatment. Boss's Life with Akon living that boss's life.
Yeah.
That's on the Blue Carpet
hmm
Treatment. So there's stuff on there, but the start of the Blue Carpet Treatment is a song called "Think About It."
hmm
And Think About It is one of those records where it's like, oh, Snoop only takes it easy on the mic because it's a conscious effort to. If he wants to do the super duper hero rap thing, he
Hmm.
can and do it very, very well at will. So
Wow.
he's kind of letting you know that it's like, no, 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 I choose not to be like super lyrical. If I want to, I can do that like rapping stuff. So
Okay.
he's got that in him. And so a lot of the times when people are like, Snoop's not top 10, I'm like, I get when they say that,
Hmm.
but I don't because you're looking at what you haven't heard him do, but you haven't heard and given him enough respect for the times that he has done it. He just doesn't do it often. He doesn't
Yeah.
he doesn't show how lyrically nice he is as much as the other top notch guys does. It's
Right.
not his thing. It never has been because he came into the game like this,
Hmm.
from the depths of the sea back to the block. Snoop Doggy Dog Funky as the doc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
it's nothing complicated about it, but it does a few things. You know what I'm saying? First of all,
Mm.
you hear his voice and you hear his draw.
Yeah. The draw is icon.
The draw is iconic off first listen, but it's also the context. Like he starts off funky as the doc, as in the DOC's first single that he
Right.
released that Dre produced. It's funky enough.
Mm.
The DOC is who taught Snoop Dogg how to write bars.
Okay.
So there's some context when he's starting off his first single and he's bringing up the DOC's first single to start off the
Right.
record.
Okay. That gives them
He's like,
context. Sure. Yeah.
give you some context. Like, hey, you remember when DOC dropped Funky Enough? This is that amped up. Same producer, new MC. The guy who taught this new MC is the guy that made Funky Enough. So there's the shout out at the beginning. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't know about, everybody knows about Snoop and Dre, but it's really always been a trifecta. It's Snoop, Dre, and the DOC because the DOC is always the one that's been helping write,
Mm.
help teach Snoop how to write. And when I mean it goes on, no, 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 that's the DOC in the back of the car in the Still DRE video too.
Okay.
You know,
That goes all
seven,
the
eight
way.
years
That's much
after,
later. Yeah.
much later. So that's what I mean. So DOC is the big homie, and so a lot of people just miss the coming. And this is what I mean. Though Snoop does a lot of little things that great MCs do too.
Hmm.
You just got to highlight it. It's not the lyrical miracle, but the context is there from the depths of the sea back to the blocks. Doggy Dog Funky, yes, the doc. People that didn't know who the DOC was for people who heard the DOC and heard the DOC's first album, a lot of people felt like he was a top 10 MC
Hmm.
and could be somebody that could ascend to be the best, if not one, if the best, if not one of the best in the game, which he already was. So Snoop is putting himself in rare air by doing that too. You
Okay.
know, so the "What's My Name" record actually starts off with the shout out.
Right. Okay.
Right. So before he gets to his shit, he kind of gives DOC his props, he gives Dre his props, and he gets the party started. And that's what
Gotcha.
I mean. It's like, nah, it's not. Is it, the lyrical stuff that Nas and Jay and is doing coming out? It's like, no, but it doesn't have to be. Like, matter of fact, this record is almost better than most of the records they've ever made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and Doggy Style is the first album to go number one on the hip hop charts, and this song is a super, super big reason why.
This is one of the first hip hop songs I remember being familiar with. Like, um, like having crossed over, and I actually knew this one before I knew the George Clinton one. Then, because I remember
Wow.
listening to P Funk in college, and that's a very Asheville thing to do,
You're
I
like,
know.
hey,
I was like, wait, that's yeah,
yeah. You're like, hey.
yeah, that's
Um, it's funny too, and this is what I mean. We have a classically trained pianist on one side,
mhm,
and we've got a reformed gangbanger,
yeah.
but they're swag.
There's swag on
You know
both
what I mean?
ends. Yeah.
Right. Like, no, but who they are, like, and I can't state this, you know this from being a recording artist yourself. When you know who you are as an artist,
Hmm.
there is a level that you can go to
Yeah.
and exist in. And both of these guys, I think, are masters at making what it is they do work.
Yeah.
Because
I
nothing
agree.
is complicated. Nothing is complicated. Like if we go through the bar work on "What's My Name," and I went through the bar work on the Ben Fold Five,
Hmm.
like it's nothing complicated going on.
No.
It is how it's being done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Long Beach is the spot where I serve my cane.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not that complicated. It's not like he's breaking down the style of drug
Intricacies
dealing.
of, yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Follow me, follow me, follow me, but don't lose your grip. Nine trizzy, a yizzy for me to fuck up. Shit. That's where
Yeah.
he wins.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that and the first place, even before he gets to the Atomic Dog, Snoop Doggy Dog like hook, the follow me, follow me, follow me, that's one of those things that sticks.
Follow
That
me,
that's
follow me, follow me, follow me.
I can't do
Yeah.
it, but yeah, I mean, like that's one of those pieces that where he jumps out from like the normal cadence of you would expect in a hip hop song,
Nobody talking
and
like that.
yeah, exactly, and you're like, oh, what is this?
Well, that's
Like
what I mean. He's
that's
winning. See, this is what I mean. He's not winning the lyrical fight. He's winning the style fight when he does
mhm,
that. Because he
yeah,
knows vocally. This is what I mean about knowing yourself. He knows vocally for how he sounds. When he flips follow me three
mhm.
times, follow me, follow me, follow me. Like he knows how fly that shit sounds because he
It
knows
does
that
because it's amazing.
because of his voice and how slick his voice is when he's flipping those words and his tongue's rolling with those words, it sounds so good. That's what I mean. He's winning a style fight.
Right.
It's like no, if Jay-Z or Biggie are saying this, it does not sound as good.
No, it
The
doesn't.
only
And there's
person
nobody else that could do it.
Slick Rick is the only person I can think of that if he were to say it, it would sound comparable as fly. So
Okay.
Slick Rick is the comp. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
It's like no, I can see follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. You know what I mean? In that
Yeah.
British accent. You know what I mean?
I
No,
could
no,
hear
no,
that.
that would
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
But he's the only one other than Snoop that's making
Mhm.
stuff like this work. Snoop makes things work that other guys don't make work, and that is a craft. You know.
It's not easy to do. No. And some of
The,
it's
the
just, yeah, just how
Here's
you,
part of what made Snoop cool too. Like Snoop's ebonic nature was different than the East Coast MCs. He's from Long Beach. You know what
mhm.
I'm saying? So when he's saying nine trizzies, a yizzy, for me to fuck up, she, you know what I mean? No, there's
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
dudes aren't rapping like that,
Yeah. And they can.
and so
Like it is
they
not,
can't.
it's not genuine from them. Right. I mean,
It's you do
or it
what you
wouldn't.
can do.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He's making things. He's saying things that most rappers can't say because they can't make these things sound good.
Right.
And so it's so easy to kind of dismiss Snoop and be like, oh, well, he doesn't do this, that, and the other. It's like, yeah, but the other guys can't do this. You know,
Yeah.
like when he's like, oh God, where's the part? When he, like I said, niggas can't fuck with this and
Yeah.
niggas can't fuck with that
Yeah.
shit that I dropped because you know it don't stop. Mr. 187 on another fucking car. TikTok. My sorry, Andrew, he's doing like literally three or four vocal inflections in about three or four bars. It's
Yeah.
like, well, you know, so I don't need him to be the lyrical miracle genius because I'm pretty certain my favorite MC can't flip his vocal tones like that.
No. No.
So he's in command of his voice and his style at a
Mhm.
very early age. That's what people always forgot
Mhm.
about Snoop. It's like, no, his style and his command and him knowing who he was, that was early. This is
Yeah.
Snoop at like 20, 21. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He might have known who he was early as much as anybody that we've heard. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like him and Nas had buzzes before they even had albums out. But that's
Mhm.
because when you heard them, you heard somebody who knew who they were on the mic.
Right.
And that made it attractive on top of them just being skillful and having great voices, you know?
Mhm.
I had never had a conversation with a white person about hip hop until this record.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, like, this is one of the first ones I remember for
Yeah,
serious
we're
ones. I mean, I remember like Can't Touch This and Ice Ice Baby, which is kind of whether it's hip hop or not, I don't know. But like, I remember those. I remember like down with OPP. Like, I mean, like I remember those, right? But this is the first like one of the very first like real hip hop
listen,
songs that I remember being familiar with.
you want to know why? Because
Why do you say?
actually, listen, you know he's black, right?
Mhm.
You know that he's a gangbanger from Long Beach. You already know this before.
No, he's
But,
very clear about this. Yes.
right. But tell me in the words, listen to what I'm about to say. Tell me in the words outside of the use of the word, the N word, which really doesn't occur that much on here,
Mm-mm.
where, where a white person can't rap these words along and feel cool too. You
Exactly.
see what I'm saying is special about Snoop?
Hmm.
Ain't a white person about to sit up here and rap Love's Gonna Get You by KRS-One
No, can't do that.
or
Can't do that.
Know the Ledge by Rakim.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or
If I
Street
tried to do that, I would look like an idiot.
or
Like,
Streets of New York by
Right.
Cool G Rap. It's like, no, you're not rapping those
Can't do
records
that.
as a white person. You can't do that. But Andrew,
I can do that. Or I can
but you
I
can
could try
but
anyway.
but you can be riding with your white friends and say, so I ain't holding nothing back. And motherfucker, I got 5 on a 20 sack. It's
Hmm.
like that, and as a matter of fact, no. You as a white person
Hmm.
can say that, and that's where Snoop won, where the people before him didn't win. It's like, no. Snoop's really the first time y'all can rap this shit.
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
and
like
that's
it be
that's
cool
that's
and it not sound like and it be cool and it not sound like you're trying. I used to go to when I went to Alexander Graham,
hmm
and this is what I mean. This is the first time I had a conversation with a white. I was sitting in the back of my last class one day, and this white boy named Trip that I used to sit with. Trip was a big boy, but he was a funny dude. And
mm.
he actually had a good heart. He was just a little corny sometimes. He was like, yo, Coop. He's like, I got 5 on a 20 sack if you want to. I'm like, dude, I was like, first of all, I was like, I don't smoke. This is when I'm in 7th grade. I'm like, I don't smoke. If I did smoke, I wouldn't smoke with you. So you don't know nothing about no 5 on a 20 sack, dude.
He probably doesn't even
I
know what you're
said,
talking about.
I was like, I said, explain to me what 5 on a 20 sack
I was
is.
about
One
to
of the
say he
homies,
probably doesn't even know what it means.
another one of the homies from West Boulevard Homes is like, Coop, like, like leave him alone. I'm like, no. I was like, this fool ain't coming into Boulevard Homes and buying no 5 on a 20 sack. I ain't pulling up in Boulevard Homes and doing that. This
Yeah.
white boy's tripping. But what I'm saying is that
Mm.
the conversation is occurring because Snoop is making it cool enough to say because even though he's saying it and I know he don't know what the hell he's talking about, it sounds cool
It
and
does
he
sound cool.
likes it. And it was the first time where it kind of changed some things, where it was like, oh, okay, like no, the white
Hmm.
people rapping along to like the gangster rap music. It's not like they rapping along to You Can't Touch This or Ice Ice Baby. That's why I'm saying, no, this Snoop, this is a nigga from Long Beach, is a
Right.
gangbanger.
This is different.
But the white people can sing these words.
Hmm.
That's different. It wasn't like that before. Ain't nobody. Look here. When Ice-T came out with Colors, do you think white people were running around singing Colors?
Mm.
Right. Like that's how people have to look at it. It's like don't look at it like it's Snoop, the guy that that's like the biggest walking ad in the history of music. You got to look at the guy that was once like 19, 20 years old. It's like a gangbanger and about to have a murder case. And white people are rapping along to it. And so, yeah. Like when
Yes.
Dr. Dre goes, peep out my man, your script. The
Hmm.
white person, you see, it's a must that I drop gangster shit. What's my name? It
Snoop
works. It does.
Doggy Dog.
It,
And it has a sing along hook too. That's another thing that I mean we've talked about this a billion times, but that's another one of those things that this one and Nothing But a G Thing both. I know that was the predecessor to this one, or one of the predecessors to this one, have things that you can sing along to in a way that,
nothing.
like, even if I know none of the words to the song, I can Snoop Doggy Dog, right? I can do
So,
that, right?
so this is what I'm. Well, this is some of the. Well, let's talk about the buy-in with the black community then. And you and I
Hmm.
have had this conversation before. Oh, these rappers are taking records that their parents know very well
Yep.
and flipping them. Okay.
Atomic Dog is one of the biggest, like, most
Oh my.
iconic.
So
Mm,
look. So my cousin Mario M6,
hmm.
his mom, my aunt Sonia.
Hmm.
Oh, Parliament, Funkadelic,
Hmm.
Bootsy Collins and the Rubber Band, hardcore all day with it. Done been to a
Hmm.
few concerts of theirs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, done went to concerts to see them in her 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
And so, her reaction the first time she heard the record and
Like,
we're around her,
oh.
she like, ooh, they taking that George Clinton record. That's that Atomic Dog.
Hmm.
The buy-in in the black community. So it's like you got white people singing it. The old people know the melody.
Hmm.
And it's Snoop. He's literally the hottest thing in rap. So everybody in our age bracket is, and now this is why you have the first number one rap album ever on Billboard's charts.
So, because it connects
That
in like six different places.
connects it. It don't just connect in all the places.
Hmm.
Connects all the places. It connects in your community. Connects with my previous generation. Connects with this generation. It's like this is what I'm saying. Like there's something for everybody in here. I got 5 on a 20 sack. Long Beach is the spot where I used to serve my cane. That's for the gangsters.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he did
Yeah.
something for everybody. Oh, the old heads that don't like hip hop, Snoop Doggy Dogg, the Atomic Dog. Same thing. So they
Yep.
can sing along. He got you good. He
It's
got
got
us
the
all
bow
very,
wow
very good.
wow you be yo, yeah, that part too.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, this is what I mean. He even gets the old school hip hop head. Now throw your hands in the motherfucking air and wave the motherfuckers like you just don't care.
one of the things that I wanted to point out too is that I know a lot of not just hip hop artists, but artists in general who use profanity because they're trying to make a line fit or because they think it sounds cool or whatever. The art that he used, the way he uses profanity and he flips stuff. You already talked about one, the um no fuck with this and fuck with that part, like where he talks, that's a really high voice. And the part that you just named too, he's taking things that are classic hip hop tropes, right? Like the throw your hands in
And
the
he's
air, or
freaking
whatever.
them.
And
He's freaking them.
exactly, and but and the
Biatch.
way he's doing it's so cool. Like, and you just all
Yes.
be like, oh,
People forget. Biatch. Yeah.
yeah,
Like
that's
so
him too.
that's him. Like all this is him. That's what I mean. His slang. People forget this. Hip hop is still like a cool slang thing. No,
Hmm.
Snoop slang totally different than anybody who came
And all the
before him.
Izzy
His
and the
slang different.
Izza and the all of that
Yeah,
stuff is him
and
too.
the
Yeah,
like when nobody saying, and this is what I mean about how he's funky with it. He's like, because this is what I like Snoop. He's like, oh, y'all don't like us calling women bitches, biatch.
all right, we've had some technical difficulties, which you probably saw at the for the last few minutes of my audio and my face not being matched up properly. I think we've resolved that now, so I think we can continue on.
Who's the one Angry Dwarf? Is he the Angry
Yeah,
Dwarf? Because he's a
yeah,
tall guy.
he is, but he was that's
Is that
it's
why he's bringing up how tall he used to be?
September
So he had a
75. I
growth
was
spurt.
47 inches tall. Yeah, yeah. Let me actually look up how tall he is. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's not like super tall, but also he's not like a dwarf now.
Angry Dwarf. Right.
And part of that's like making fun of himself as a as a middle school age kid too, right? It's 5'10", yeah. So he's normal. He's our height. Like he's normal height, average height. Not
Five, 5'10".
so he's
Well, I mean,
not what you
actually,
would classify as small. No, he's just. But he
well, I
was when
mean,
he
actually,
was. He's one of those
average
guys, I
height
guess, that
for
was like tiny in sixth grade and then had the big growth spurt,
average man
like
is
me.
5'7". Average man is 5'7". Average woman is 5'4.5". So
Mm.
you know, yeah.
Yeah,
People think 6 feet tall is tall when it's actually like anything over 5'7" is actually tall.
yeah,
But societal norms, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Easier to say
exactly.
that 6 feet tall is tall.
That's become like a
Um,
Tinder thing, apparently. I've seen that like on Instagram Reels and TikTok. They're talking about you have to be 6 feet tall to blah 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 blah. I'm glad I missed all of that. But um,
oh no, like this. Okay, so like the society after us, Andrew,
mhm,
like it's all a numbers and a size game about everything.
yeah,
It's like I was like, oh man, I was like, yeah, you motherfuckers are never getting married, having kids, doing shit productive or nothing. It's like if y'all
yeah,
making everything into numbers, you know what you do when you make everything into numbers about like life and relationships and people? That means everything is math. Is math fun?
to
Then
some
neither
people,
is life.
yeah, exactly. But
No, no, no.
like,
No, no, no. There are people who enjoy solving math problems,
right,
but doing the math ain't fun for them either, and they'll tell you that.
it's true.
They like the problem solving aspect of it, not the mathing part of it. The mathing ain't no damn fun.
Yeah, and it's just I just feel like you would miss out. This is, I know, a huge sidebar or whatever, and has really no connection to what we were talking about before. But
No, it does. He calling himself a dwarf, and he got some like
and Snoop
you
saying, "What's
know,
my name?" Right? So,
he
but
has
yeah,
some
no,
security.
like
He has
I
some
just feel like
insecurity
you,
issues.
hmm?
He has some insecurity issues.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and when you're bullied for your height, and as a young person, it follows you. And in this case, it followed him in the. I'm going to make some songs that tell all y'all to kiss my ass. Like that's, I mean, kiss my ass, kiss my ass, kiss my ass, goodbye now. Like that's like literally the outro of the song. Um,
Right, but he's there. There's something about that when I really thought about it. It's like because it's one angry dwarf and 200 solemn faces. What he's saying and what he's speaking to, even with the title, is like you all aren't happy for my success, and that makes me
exactly.
even more upset than the abuse that you gave me that probably drove me to my success anyway.
Yeah,
Definitely needs a therapist.
he's gotten one, um, but I mean, but no, he does work out his issues in song form too. Like there's lots of I think we know probably more about his personal life via song than we do with most artists, like about
No, this
events
is why.
that have happened to
No,
him.
this is what I mean. He's. It's not anything complicated,
Hmm.
but this is it's very touchy for him. Where he,
Yeah.
Vic, you stole my lunch money, made me cry.
Wow. Jane, you remember
You know,
second grade, said you couldn't stand my face. Rather than kiss
rather
me,
than
you
kiss
said
me,
you'd
you
rather
would
die.
rather die.
But now
So
I'm big and important, right? And there's still that little man complex. Like there's still a little of
that's what I
that.
Mean.
Like
Right? Because
I'm
listen,
still trying to prove myself
because it's
because of
listen,
this.
right? Because he says after he says that, now I'm big and important.
Yep. Yep.
Like it's like the insecure. You know when you're big and important,
You don't say it.
and big important people, correct. Don't say that shit unless they're insecure. So
Right.
it's the revealing of his insecurities too, and that's what I mean. Like both of these songs are kind of funny because one guy is bragging about the success that he has,
Hmm.
but he's very insecure. The
Hmm.
other guy hasn't achieved any success yet, but he's talking like he's the motherfucking man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing but a G thing came before this, right? Like,
Yes, but that's Dr. Dre shit. Snoop ain't got no money.
no,
Dre got money.
but it's
Snoop ain't got no
him.
money.
But people know who he is from that though, and from
Yeah, yeah,
previous
he's a
music.
star.
Yeah.
Like he's a star. He's a star. Don't get it twisted. Snoop's a star. Like in night and yeah, what's my name is coming out like August like of '93. Like no, Snoop's a star. The Chronic's
Yeah.
been playing for about a year. Deep Cover's been playing for about a year and a half. He's big, but what I'm saying is that adversity doesn't define character; it reveals it, and
Hmm.
so does money and fame.
Right.
And so some of what you see, some of what you're seeing,
Hmm.
is how they're dealing with the fame. Like one guy has the fame, and he's one angry dwarf.
Hmm.
The other guy,
I mean, he's projecting a little bit here because this is their. I mean, it's not their first album, but it's the first like this is their first like big song.
but the other guy is literally saying, "What's my motherfucking name, Snoop?" And he's on the rooftop of a building in Long Beach, like
But he's
you
also
know.
using that to announce himself too. Like, I mean,
But it's
he's
like you said, this is
and
this, how about this? It's not announcing himself because, like you said, we know who he is. But it is the coming out party.
right. Like, if you didn't know who I am,
What's my name?
yeah.
My
But
name's Snoop Doggy
but
Dogg.
it is the precursor in many ways to the real Slim Shady song. Like it, and I know
You
we don't
feel that
like
way?
not
How
necessarily,
so?
but I mean it does the same thing though. Like it announces who they are to the wider world in a
No,
way that is really easy to remember and to say and to sing along to.
Andrew, pause. Pause. I think you just taught me something about hip hop just now. Because never before did I ever connect the dot and think that the same formula that Dr. Dre
Because
used to
Dre did
put
both of
Snoop
them, yeah.
Dogg on, that he used for Eminem too.
Hmm.
Because Hi, My Name Is, and What's My Name, it's the same thing.
Yep.
Great fucking contextualization, Andrew. I never saw that before. I never connected that dot.
And
We got to talk about that on According to Hip Hop. I'm like literally putting that on my notes. We got
okay,
to talk
good,
about that on
good,
According to
good.
Hip Hop.
It occurred to me as you were saying, um, oh, fuck, what was it? When you're talking about your white friend about and at AG about it, like that, and that it was a cool thing, and that that white people could like speak along to Snoop's lyrics in a way that they couldn't with KRS-One and Cool G Rap and those people. Um, and Eminem is the same way, right? Like that is one of the things they have in common. Um, Hi, my name
Ooh,
is
I think you just
and
opened
I'm
up
Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the
Andrew.
real Shady. All you other Slim
Andrew.
Shadys are just like you can do that. Lose yourself in the music the moment you want. Like you can do all of those things. I can do those things and not feel completely fucking stupid,
Ooh,
right?
ooh, ooh, ooh. Andrew.
Right.
I don't think
And that's
that's
a thing that is from Snoop's lineage, right? It was Dre's really. I mean, he's the one who
I
launched it,
wouldn't
but
call it. I
like,
wouldn't call it. No, no, no. See, this is what I mean is that I wouldn't call it a lineage, but what you now have Ooh, I'm about to do a dig because I just want to see Snoop is Dr. Dre's blueprint, Andrew.
Hmm.
And I think you just revealed that because I'm pretty certain I can provide context and tell you that all of these records, like, because I'm just thinking about Dr. Dre's biggest artists since Snoop and
Hmm.
how they've come out. Like, like let's look at the game. What's his breakout record? This is how we do. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You just stumbled onto something that I'm about to start unpacking further.
All right, hell
That
yeah.
was great.
I look forward to hearing the like somebody who really knows what they're talking about, like dig into it some more too.
No, that's information. That's information. That was a high quality dig that she just did. Because here's the thing, not being funny, black people ain't trying to compare Snoop to Eminem on any level.
No, and that's why
So we're not even
I was
thinking
almost
that way.
hesitant to say it because
No, that's
like,
strong. I don't think you understand. It's one of the strongest things you've said since we've done this show.
mhm.
It really
Taught
is.
me a
It's
lot
like
then.
that. No, I don't think you understand. Just off the what's my name and the how my name is, we have to have a conversation according to hip hop about that.
Hmm.
Because that is Dr. Dre pretty much using Snoop's formula to make Eminem successful.
Hmm. And he does it more than once too.
That's what I mean. That's when
Yeah,
you did the whole real Slim Shady thing. I'm
that's
like, oh,
another
hold
version
on.
of the same.
So
Yeah.
he's hitting repeat on what's working.
Hmm.
Ooh, spin cycle.
And
Take
why
my
wouldn't
notes.
you like use it as
And why would you not when it's working and making you all this money and selling you all these records?
exactly, exactly, exactly.
Oh, beautiful stuff, Andrew. Beautiful stuff. Okay. Back to the Ben Folds 5 record just right quick, and then we can kind of like finish up
Yeah,
with the Snoop record. But this is what I mean. Like, that's why I was asking, well, is one Angry Dwarf like their coming out party?
that one.
How many people's coming out party is a fuck you to the people that fucked them over?
Not a whole lot, I would imagine.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So there's something that they petty. I'm sorry. Ben Folds is a petty man. He's
he
petty.
is. And he
He's
would
petty.
say that he's a petty man.
He's
Like,
he's petty. He's
yeah,
very petty. There are people
yeah,
out here doing petty things. He would be one of the people doing petty things.
yeah. I mean,
This
his
record's petty now. If you really want to see me,
battle of who could care less.
if
Um,
you really want to see me, check the papers in the TV.
that's some bars, right?
Petty,
But that's some bars
petty.
too. Like
It is bars. They're petty bars. They're
they
petty
are.
bars. Those are petty bars, but they are
And
bars.
no,
They
he
are
has.
bars.
Yeah.
Bars are there. He's just petty as fuck.
Hmm.
You know, I've been talking about mental health issues. Check.
Yeah. I mean,
Check.
yeah.
I just think what year is this coming out? One Angry Dwarf is 97.
97. 97. Yeah.
So 97, 93 time
Hmm.
frame ish.
One of the other
Yeah.
pieces that I want to like bring up as a point of comparison between them is like their cultural place too. I mean, Ben Folds has, I mean, obviously What's My Name is a much bigger song than One Angry Dwarf is, but like their cultural place, like you see Snoop still everywhere, like in commercials and he's you've called him on this show before the hip hop's first rock star. Like he's that kind
Superstar.
of. Hmm?
Superstar. He's hip hop's first superstar.
Yeah.
Not star, super.
Okay.
Super being the key word and adjective here.
Hmm.
Super
And
supreme.
he is, and he's
He
still, and
is.
even this is what 30 years after Doggy Style, right?
Man. And this is what I mean. People, you have to understand when I'm saying superstar, every time I say he's rap's first superstar,
Hmm.
people be like, oh, Coop, you tripping. LL Cool J. I'm like, man, I love L. I think L's actually a better MC than Snoop. Don't you know Snoop like outsold L's almost entire whole catalog off one album?
Yeah.
I'm not being
No.
funny. Like I ain't being funny. L got radio, bad, bigger and deafer, and Mama said knock you out, and go add up the totals on those four records in their record sales, and it's a little bit over doggy style. Like,
No, no, seriously though, the easiest way to solve this is would be to like go around the world or go into a bunch of other rooms in the world and hold up a picture of LL Cool J and hold up a picture of Snoop and see how many people can identify them who are not like hip hop fans necessarily. I mean, everybody recognizes Snoop, even if they um don't know any of the songs, right? They would still recognize his face. He's still a guy in the
Right.
Corona commercial with Andy Samberg or whatever. Um, but Ben
So this is
Folds
what
just
I'm saying.
released.
Listen to this. LL Cool J's radio. It sold 500,000 copies in its first 5 months, as
Mhm,
in 100,000 copies a month. Okay,
mhm. Yeah,
in 5 months. Snoop did that first week of Doggy Style.
yeah.
LL's first album doesn't go
It's a different
platinum
scale.
until 19. LL's first album doesn't go platinum until 1988. The first album came out in 1985. Listen to what I'm saying, Andrew. Doggy Style came out in November of 93. It was platinum before it was 1994. It came out at the end of November.
That's a month.
He's rap's first superstar.
Mm-hmm.
You see the difference? That's why it's like when people be like, it's like, no. That ain't the same shit. And it's not about the record sales because while this is going on, no. Run DMC going double and triple platinum. So don't tell me
Mm-hmm.
that it can't be done. He's rap's first solo superstar. That's just it.
And that's fine. There's nothing. Yeah, that's not a disrespect to L. That's like we don't have to talk about
It's
Mama Said Knock You
not.
Out for much longer. But like,
What I'm saying is that part of why Snoop is able to do that is because of guys like L.
yep.
Okay, Bad by L,
Mm-hmm.
2 million copies. So 2 albums, we're at 3. All right.
And Doggy
Snoop did
Style was
5
what,
out the
6 or 7,
gate.
right?
Huh?
Snoop Doggy Style was like 6 or 7, right?
5 million in a calendar year.
Yeah.
I try to count like the calendar year. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Okay.
But let me see. LL's third album, platinum. So now we have 3 albums, 4 million in sales. Are you following me?
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Mama Said Knock You Out. And what does Mama Said Knock You Out? Double platinum. So L's first 4 albums, 6 million records. Doggy Style, 5 million records.
Yeah.
Rap's
In
first
a year.
superstar.
Yeah.
Rap's first in a year. That's what I'm saying. Rap's first superstar. Like, yeah, when I be saying that, like, and this is where the New York bias comes into it. It's like, you have to understand, oh, the New Yorkers don't like that, Andrew. I don't care how. They don't like that. They don't like that the first rap's first superstar is a guy from the West Coast. They don't.
It's
They'll
just,
never admit
it's
it.
just what it is, though. It's
They'll
just what
never
it is.
admit it. And I'm not saying that there aren't guys that aren't doing records and aren't selling records. Like Ice Cube selling records, Dre selling records. Like, no. There are
Mm-hmm.
people. Listen to what I'm saying. White people ain't singing their records.
Mm-mm.
They not. I'm sorry. They not. You don't know the words to DOC's is funky enough.
No.
You don't. I'm sorry, it's a platinum album. You know the words to Boys in the Hood by NWA by Eazy-E?
Some, but not all. No.
You
And
feel
it's
what I'm
not. It's
saying?
not something that I would feel comfortable rapping myself either.
Say it again. So that's the difference with Snoop is that Snoop is saying things that is comfortable for the other side to say.
Yeah.
Superstar stuff. That's superstar stuff. When you start transcending the boundaries
Yep.
and the parameters. Yeah.
And this has helped me see like all the different directions that he has done that because he's got the sing along hooks in it. He's got the reference to a classic funk song. He's getting it several different directions. That's how he made himself, I guess. Yeah. The contrast I was going to make right quick was that Ben Folds just released a new album as a solo album like 2 weeks ago, I think. And there are songs on the and most of the songs on there are sort of referencing obliquely or directly him getting older and becoming less culturally relevant. There's actually a song on there called Back to Anonymous, honestly. So he's I mean, it's a good album. It's not a great one. It's not his best work, but it's one of those that is better the more times I've listened to it. It was growing on me because it's not stylistically hugely different, but it's not like this. That's one of those places where the two artists kind of diverge too. And I mean, obviously Ben Folds was never as famous as Snoop. I mean, like that's a whole different.
Who is?
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole different deal. But
who is? Mike B and I often talk about the versus battle between DMX. God rest his soul. I love DMX. Between DMX and Snoop. DMX's catalog is phenomenal, Andrew.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of
It's not
an
just
artist
good.
that white people can rap a lot of his songs to, I mean that's
It's
he's
not.
another one.
It's not just good. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was playing records, and when Snoop was playing records that were on Doggy Style and The Chronic, and it almost felt like this is not competitive. It's DMX.
Yeah.
Like Snoop's records are like that,
Hmm.
where you can take somebody who is all time great,
Yeah.
who actually can say, no, 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 I have an album that has sold over 5 million copies in a year, like your album. Like
Yep.
DMX is one of the few guys that can walk around and say that. But when they were playing the songs from Doggy Style and The Chronic up against DMX's best stuff, I was like, man,
Mm.
it's like, ooh, trouble,
Hmm.
trouble. Like, I forgot what it was. I think it was Murder Was the Case versus Slippin'.
Mm.
And it was just
Like,
like Slippin', pen wise, is one of DMX's like five best songs. It got dusted.
yeah. No, like I could say some of the words to Murder Was the Case. I don't I'd probably recognize Slippin' if I heard it, but I don't like it's not popping something up in my
Right.
head when I hear the name.
But but that's what I mean about Snoop. And this is what I mean about the draw, the stop points. This isn't the most complicated stuff. As I look up at the sky, my
Mhm.
mind starts tripping, a tear drops my eye.
Yeah.
My body temperature falls. I'm shaking and they breaking, trying to save the dog.
Hmm.
Pumping on my chest and I'm screaming. I stop breathing. Damn, I see demons. No, Snoop's cold.
Hmm.
Cold. He knows what he's doing. He knows his voice and his delivery is where it's
Yeah.
at, and he hones in on it. Both two great records for different reasons. You know, one is more of a look at me now, I hate you. Another one is like, look at me now, I made it. So did the neighborhood.
Hmm.
You've had this record down for a while too. This is one of our
Yeah.
older pairings.
Yeah.
You picked this pairing a long time ago.
Yeah. I love I was really trying to find something that I could do talk about Ben Folds about because he's one of the ones I listen to just generally, not like there are
So
things that
you
I
are a
pull
fan.
out more for this show, like to like refamiliarize myself with. Ben Folds is one that we both I and my family listen to, like just driving places and while we're sitting around folding clothes and shit. Like it's one of
I
those
can
kind
see
of
this
things.
totally. This is total travel music Saturday morning with the
Yeah,
family music. I can totally see that.
yeah.
I can
The
totally
whole
see that.
album's excellent. I mean, um, it's called Whatever and Ever Amen, which is
I'm gonna give them a shot just because they're from Carolina. You know how we
yeah.
roll.
Um, I can make you a
This is a,
playlist, or you can just listen to that album. Or
whatever you want to do. I'm just gonna give them a
I'll
shot because they're from Carolina.
yeah.
I would like
It's
to hear some of his classic compositions though,
um,
or
it's easy to find on
when you're
YouTube.
breaking. See, I like stuff like that. Like when you're talking about like it's like, oh no, this is what you do. It's like no, but you can go rock the orchestra, pick up the chord, get everybody start bidding on keys. Start, you know, it's
Mhm. No,
no, no, no.
it's
I
a
like
really super easy thing to find on YouTube. Just Ben Folds Philharmonic, like
no.
composing
Okay.
live or something like that. You can find that.
Cool.
I can't let you get out of here without telling you this piece of information. This is another one of those crossover moments between the two artists and some more literal crossover moment. He used to cover the Ben Folds Five used to cover "Bitches Ain't Shit" live in their shows. It was released on a solo album or on a live album a few times too. And I mean,
Fascinating.
obviously, it was originally done because it was not making fun, but it was kind of in very much the same way this song is "One Angry Dwarf." I can't believe this nerdy looking white boy is saying these things. And it was done in kind of that vein. Um, but also when they performed it, they um performed all the lyrics to it, which can be kind of problematic. And because that one is not a song that is bereft of the N word, for so to speak. So that's another one of those examples of we talked about with like the Dixie Chicks the last time. They would perform this one live. This was, you know, 2000, 2002, 2005, like not so like 20 years ago. And it was released on a I don't remember which, on a live album it was anyway. Um, but like in the last 5 years or so, he has first of all he said I'm never playing this again. But also he is he hasn't just repudiated it, but also has gone back and wiped it from Spotify. Like the album shows up and it's like grayed out and you can't find it anywhere anymore. So like he's
I mean,
taken it.
is he using the N word?
Um, I think it's like the bass player that's singing it, but yeah, and that's why they've taken it down. Like,
Let me ask you something.
mhm.
Is the bass player black?
No, they're all white kids.
And they're using the N word, replaying this and remaking this?
Mhm.
For somebody that is a fan of his music, that's how do
Mhm.
you feel about that? And do you think that that's something that he should address? Because
I,
because scrubbing it is one thing.
no, he has
Because the
addressed it.
scrubbing is the admission. Oh, he has. That's what I'm
Yeah.
asking. I'm asking
No,
if
he
he's
is.
addressed it.
He said like essentially. I'm paraphrasing badly. I would have to go look up the interview to know or interview. I'm sure he's addressed it in multiple interviews and not just one. But that
Okay.
like I understand now more why this is problematic and I shouldn't have done it. And um, I'm doing what I can to not get
Now let
rid
me
of the
ask you something
evidence,
right
but
quick.
but I mean, he's not denying that he did it. He's just like,
He's not denying it because he knows that he can't deny it. But this is what
right.
I'm saying. So somebody who's classically trained as him, that's a gift to be classically trained like that.
Mhm.
You tend to be highly intelligent.
Yeah.
Doggy Style is full of wonderful sing-along records. It might have more sing-along records than any. So when you take that record, when there are
Hmm.
so many other records, even from that album to choose from, that just not gonna fly, Andrew. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just
Yeah.
being honest. Like he knew what he was doing and when he was doing it.
Hmm.
And these are the problems with white people thinking that they can, quite frankly, can just do whatever they want and then
Yeah.
just delete it and not get backlash. So, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but no. The way that he handled that situation, it reeks of white privilege. It's saying,
It
I know
is.
I did it intentionally, but I'm just gonna scrub it and take it down and address it a couple times, and it's gonna be fine. Because here's the reality of the matter: it's like he could have did "Ain't No Fun." You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like "Ain't No Fun" don't really have the N word in it like that. People don't know that.
Hmm.
That's what I mean. There are other records on there. It's like Gin and Juice don't really use the N word like
Right.
that. Yeah, that's the biggest record on Doggy Style. You could have played the biggest record on Doggy Style and not used the N word. And so there appears to be a thing with white people sometimes and them trying to find a way to use that word and get away with it. And that's what this
Yeah.
comes off as. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, you wanted to use the word. So I prefer that he like be a man and just say that he wanted to use the word and say, oh well, I didn't really know. It's like, no. Classically trained pianist, classically trained musician. Yeah, you did. Because you're intelligent.
Mhm.
He's not no dummy. He's intelligent. Because if you can get an orchestra to conduct and start playing off a chord, you know what that means? That means your awareness and your intuition is high. Don't tell me that it stops with music.
Mhm.
Your ears are part of the music, right?
Yeah.
It's part of how he puts things together, right? So his ears heard those words, but he wanted to say those words, is what I think, because that's what we as Black people are conditioned to think when you have a conversation like this, and
Mhm.
there's no real rational explanation other than that. That is the rational explanation. You wanted to use the N word and you messed up.
My belief is that, I mean, obviously I can't defend it, but like that his intent was not as malevolent as
No,
that.
I don't think it was malevolent. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
he's
I don't
ignorant for sure.
I
I think
think
he would say that it was ignorant.
right. I think that's one of those youthful ignorant things where it was like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Oh God.
Yeah.
I hope too many more people don't find out and ask me about this. I was really fucking
Hmm.
stupid for doing it. And we all have those moments. But this is what I'm saying about that word. You really can't afford to have those moments
Right.
in your community because that goes back to the conversation we had on the previous episode, Andrew, about what? About how most black people I know do not what? Deal with white
Right.
people
Exactly.
because we don't feel like we can trust you all. Andrew, here it is again.
And that's why I wanted to like I
No,
felt
I like the candor. I love
like
your
I
candor.
don't like I don't like feeling like I'm in the position of having to defend that. I guess is
No, no,
what.
no.
But
I don't
also,
think you have to
I didn't
defend
feel
it.
like we could get out of this show and talking about those two artists without bringing that up. Like I thought
I
that was
never.
felt that was irresponsible on my part.
I no, no, no. I mean, your moral compass has always been strong like that since we were teenagers. So you doing, you're being who you are. So I wouldn't
Mhm.
expect anything less from you. This is literally how you've been since we were 15, 16 years old. You've
Mhm.
always been this way. Like, this is what I mean about you, Andrew, and even the Black experience. Like, all the other highly intelligent Black men used to talk about you in our circles.
Wow,
Like, we all
I didn't
talked
know it
about
like
you when
that.
we were in high school. Right. Well, you are our intellectual equal and superior in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
But part of why we were able to talk about you that way is because we knew you didn't have any biases.
Mhm.
Like me and Jeff Black, Chris Oates, Nasif, Nick. Yeah, we talked about you.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like all your intellectual equals who were Black, we talked about you. And we didn't talk about you the way we talked about some of the other white guys that went to West Charlotte. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because we can see and feel the differences. And so this is one of those things, unfortunately, for Ben, because he did it,
Yeah.
he's on that. He's not on your side. And I'm not telling you to stop listening to him or stop liking him. But
Right.
I'm telling you, in my community, oh, well, me, Jeff, and Chris, and Nasif, and Nick, oh, we never gonna talk about Ben the way we talk about you.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
You feel me?
I
You
follow
feel
you.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the respect and all, it's never gonna be the same.
Hmm.
You know, because it's like without you telling me, it's like you're doing that because it's the right thing to do. I'm telling you, in this community, we know, and we're gonna find out anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's cool that you share. That's who you are. That's why those conversations that Jeff and I had about you in high school, and Nasif and I had about you in high school, specifically those two. Oh, well, you're proof to life with how you ended this because that was why we looked at you the way that we did as an equal because you looked at us that way. Ah,
Hmm. Yeah.
there are contemporaries that we had that went to high school
Whose names we're not going to say.
whose names we're not going to say.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about though.
But they really thought because of their grade point average that they were smarter than some of us.
Hmm.
And quite frankly, like for us that used to talk, oh, you were the only one that was even as smart as us. We didn't know what the hell they was talking about. It's like, oh, this motherfucker don't even know how to fucking walk outside with an umbrella when it's storming nonstop
Hmm.
with that level of privilege to them. And you
Yeah.
never came off like that. It's like, no, this motherfucker is just really smart and cool like we are.
Wow.
And that's really all it takes. So I think that's a good place to end it.